Hey guys, how you doing? Right, still waiting for this house scenario, but as I've said before, my Switch has literally been my lifesaver. Honestly, it has been the best console that I've ever owned, and it's been so ideal for this situation. And there's no disputing that this generation, the Switch is my favourite. However, I was reminded the other day that I took all of my consoles with me, as in handhelds. They're all literally in a bag. And suddenly I felt the urge to play the PSP. And I'm not entirely sure why, because it's been in my collection essentially all this time. And I'm not gonna lie, I've really not felt the need to really play it. I'm not entirely sure why. Lack of games, maybe? Possibly, but I do have at least 50 games for it, so it can't really be that. But, that being said, I started playing it and thought, I've been missing out. And the game I chose to play, of all of the games I owned, was the game that was in it. And that game? Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. And it suddenly dawned on me. We are getting a remake of that game for the Switch. Now, it's something I thought that never happened. I didn't think we'd ever get a remake of that game, with it being such an obscure piece of Final Fantasy history. But here we are. We're getting that, and honestly, I'm kind of wondering what they can do to it, because the original game was damn good and damn pretty to begin with, and honestly, I'm not entirely sure it warranted a remake. I'm not entirely sure if that was needed in any way, but the thing I'm trying to get into my head is the fact that this could potentially give it new life, give it new mechanics and things like that. It's already looking like it doesn't have the same battle mechanic. It looks more akin to Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is fine by me. I did like that. As for the story, obviously if you don't already know the story, go and play the game, but I'd advise you to pause the video now and either look up the story if you want to, or just play the game. You have been warned. Now, the story in general has been one of the strongest points of Final Fantasy. No matter which game you play, actually, I tell a lie, there is one which the story really just doesn't really need to be there, and that is Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII, which is a game based on one of the extended characters, a character that you don't actually have to pick up in the game in order to complete it, which, yeah, a bit weird. But with that being said, the story has always been a strong point, and I'm kind of hoping to keep that in its own continuity, keep the story how it is, and basically make sure that that game plays and feels like its original counterpart, at least to an extent, while breathing new life into it, which is obviously their intention. But again, there's still doubts. Like, the doubts in my mind are a lot like my doubts with Final Fantasy VII Remake. My biggest concern is the fact that it might be too big to do what needs doing. The other thing, which could possibly be a problem, is them changing up the battle system, which, if it's like Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm going to enjoy it regardless, but some people might not take akin to that. So let's hope that that doesn't happen. Let's hope that something goes on, and it is one of the perfect games of at least this year. It comes out next month, which I am hoping to get hold of. I've already got Sonic Frontiers pre-ordered, so I don't think I'm going to be pre-ordering it. But with that, I just wanted to ask you guys, what do you think about the remake? Because It's a remake I thought we'd never get. It's a remake that I thought we would never get, not in a million years, but yet here we are. We've got this remake which is an obscure one, which I wasn't really clamouring for, you know. Wasn't one I kind of like looked at and went, you know what, we need that remake. It's not one I wanted, but there you go. That is life. That is how it works, and hopefully it'll be a good one. In the meantime, guys, let me know below your thoughts on it, because I would really love to know the community's thoughts on this, because it's a little bizarre to me. But anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. See you in another video, and I shall see you again very soon.